Hello and happy new year. I've uploaded videos to this channel this year so far, but I've not actually filmed a video this year so far, I don't think. So happy new year. Let's be honest, I've actually struggled a little bit with the start of this year. I had a really good first week. I went into town, I worked loads, I was doing really just so much, and then it came my 23rd birthday, unfortunately. The day I turned 23, it was my birthday. I was meant to be going out with my friends that night. We organised to have an Indian, have cake, all that kind of stuff, and I had a 3-hour panic attack, which was really shit. It was awful, and my birthday is 7th of January, very close to the start of the new year. And to be honest, it's the 10th now, and I've kind of been struggling ever since. I think when you have a panic attack, it kind of takes you a while to get back into it because you feel like just really scared of having another one, or you feel your body just feels a bit funny, all that kind of stuff. So I thought I'd do a video today on surviving the start of the year, because the start of a new year I think is really tough for everyone. I think one of the main reasons, for me anyway, and for a lot of people with mental health issues or people that have issues with their physical health, I think the fact that we've had Christmas and New Year and all of the things that come with that in the space of 2 weeks really takes out of you. And so when January comes, you're just so like, oh my god, I'm so glad that's over. But I think what would have been wise would be to rest the first week of the year and then carry on. But I was like, 2019, I'm gonna get over my anxiety, yeah, let's do it, and then just had a big panic attack. So I've thought about a few things that help with the start of the new year. I want everyone to know that you're not the only person. If you're struggling with the start of the new year now, you're not the only person that's struggling with the start of the new year, and it's okay. It's totally okay. It doesn't mean this is 2019. It was obviously my birthday a few days ago, and since then so many things have happened in my friendships or in my friends' lives and my family life and myself that have been really hard, and I'm like, maybe 23 is just going to be the shittest age, but it's been literally 3 days or something of me being 23 or 4, so it's going to be fine. Here's some stuff that I've learnt to survive the start of the year. The first thing I've got is take time off. You might feel like you can't take time off because you're just taking time off work, and maybe your work won't allow it, but a lot of the time people don't really want to take time off in January because they want to get back to it, they want to get started. So usually it's okay for you to take time off at that time. Anyway, either way, it's important. If you need time to heal, to recover, to feel better, to have days completely doing nothing, or organising your house back to normal, or whatever it is, take time off. Don't feel guilty, don't think about the repercussions at work, don't think about how that's going to affect different things. If you are able to take time off work, take the time off work, because, or whatever it is that you do, if you have kids, whatever it is, if you are able to have a child-free day, a work-free day, whatever that is, have it and do nothing and let yourself do nothing. There's always so many things that you need to do. There's always going to be, whether it's little things like you have to go to the shops, you have to clean your house, all those kind of things, pretty much everything can wait, and you can take some time off and let yourself and not feel guilty. The second thing I've got is to tell people that you're struggling. Tell people if they ask you if you want to do something, if they ask you how you are, if they ask you any of these questions, or if you've not spoken to them in a while and you just feel like telling somebody, tell people how you feel. Please tell people how you feel. Not only can it put your thoughts into perspective and make you see how you really feel, because if our thoughts are constantly in our own heads, we don't really know how we feel. It's all jumbled, and bad thoughts can turn into beliefs if we don't talk about them. So the more we talk about these things, the more we hear ourselves. I don't know if that made much sense, but when you hear yourself talking, sometimes you can hear how illogical it sounds. In therapy, when I trained, I did a counselling course, we always learned that as a therapist, you don't really talk that much. You don't really ask prying questions. The main thing is that you're kind of a mirror to that person, so they can hear themselves and they come up with their own answers. And so even if you're not in therapy, if you're talking to somebody, you start to hear yourself, you start to make your own answers, you start to understand why you're feeling the way you do, just through talking it out and just through somebody being there to bounce it off. This can also, if you're not able to talk to somebody in real life or whatever, this can also be done in journals, all that kind of stuff. I've recently started bullet journaling and I love it so much. The next thing is to take it a day at a time. I often don't take things a day at a time, and I often worry about, that's pretty much what my anxiety is, and most anxieties are, is worrying, catastrophizing about the really horrible worst case scenario in the future. I often get, if I'm working like 2 days in a row or 3 days in a row or whatever it is, I often think like, how am I going to manage all of that? Rather than being like, well, I'll just work the first day and then see how I feel and get through that, and then I'll work the next day and get through that if I can, and that kind of thing. That's the way to go through things, and that's the way to survive the start of the year. I think that's the key, is to take it little tiny bits at a time. You're not thinking about January, you're not thinking about February or the winter months. You're thinking about this particular day. What are you going to have for dinner? What are you going to watch on TV? What work do you have to do? What do you have to do today? What things do you want to do today? Focus on just one day, and even if that's too tough for you, focus on an hour at a time. What am I going to do in this hour? How am I going to survive this hour? Little tiny snippets are the way to do these things, I think. I've just noticed that this is right in the way. Has that been there the whole time? The next thing is to make a cozy space. I feel like in January, all the elements are against us. Money. Most people have less money in January. The weather is usually really dark and that horrible, like, ooh, I really hate the weather in January. It's really like, it's not snowing, it's just absolutely freezing cold and grey and miserable. And we're also absolutely shattered from Christmas and New Year and all the things that come with that. And so just generally, January is of course a really bad month, and actually my birthday, January the 7th, I was told the other day, is apparently the most depressing day of the year. People feel worse in January. And I think making a cozy space with what you already have, blankets, all that kind of stuff, just having a space where it's your space. I often find that sitting on the floor with blankets, with your phone, with your laptop, with all the things that make you comfortable, medication if you need that, snacks, little tiny snacks, all these kinds of things, make a cozy, nice space, and then just be there for a while. Be there for as long as you need to be. The last point I have is to start next month. We want to do all of these things. We've got New Year's resolutions, we've got things we want to accomplish this year, we've got all of these goals and things we're really looking forward to and things we want to try and do. But I think January is the time for surviving. January is the time for making sure we have enough sleep and food, and that we are washing regularly, and that we are managing to do the things we need to do. January's getting back to it. January's literally surviving. And February can be the time where you introduce healthy eating, or drinking more water, or exercising, or whatever your New Year's resolutions are. February's the time to start introducing the new things that you want to do, the new things that are inspiring you, all that kind of stuff. And if we can survive January, we will survive the rest of the year. New Year is really, really hard, and this January it's really hit me, and it's been quite a tough one so far. Lots of things have happened, lots of negative things, and I think at the moment I'm in survival mode, and that's the only thing that matters, is that I am getting up in the morning, I've gotten dressed, I have been outside, and that's what all of us should be focusing on right now. Forget about the resolutions, forget about the goals, survive January, and then we can introduce new goals in February. I think that's the way forward. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. Bye!